Well, we're back at the shop, and I guess it's time to do the stereotypical "we're losing the shop" video. But yeah, this time it's serious. Might even be losing our house too. So we'll see how that goes. Dealing with a bunch of issues. Long story short, the property that this building that we're renting is on is potentially sold or potentially going to be sold. So our days are numbered. So what does that mean for us? What does that mean for you guys watching? Well, first of all, there's still going to be videos and everything else. So we're going to be here probably for at least another month. But everything in here has pretty much potentially got to go. So I'm going to quick run through the cars, the price, location, all that stuff. And I'll probably have in-depth full videos on these later on within the next coming weeks. But if you see anything you're interested in, my email is in the description of the video, and I will put it in the comments and I will pin it to the top. So we'll kind of do things in reverse order here. We'll start at the back and go forward. First of all of these cars, clean titles, so that's always a good thing. This is a 1969 Roadrunner. There's the fenders for it, rust-free, solid, straight. There's the doors, there's the latch support, there's the 4-speed pedal assembly, and the floor is perfect. There was no metal replaced on this car at all, really. And this car is already painted in the engine bay and all underneath. It's done as far as that's concerned. All you gotta do is, I think the suspension is even rebuilt, actually, now that I'm looking at it. This was one of our Arizona cars. Front suspension's all painted up. I don't know the condition of it, but it looks to be pretty good overall. This is Sunfire Yellow. It's the kind of pale, flat yellow. Not flat, but solid color, not metallic. So all somebody has to do to get the body in line is to do the fenders and doors and get the body and spray it, and there you have a rust-free rolling body. And we have various parts for it. We have all the window regulators, that whole shelf over there. There's all the dash stuff in original 50-year-old unrestored condition, so some of it may need to be replaced, but a lot of it is clean it up, test it, or send it out for restoration, kind of a situation there. No engine or transmission. Actually, no, there is a transmission. There is the numbers matching transmission. I'll go over and show that real quick here. The numbers matching transmission, bell housing, cross member, linkage assemblies, everything. That's there with the VIN number for that car. For anybody emailing me, just let me know what car you're potentially interested in. This is I just call it the Sunfire Roadrunner, or the Sunfire Yellow Roadrunner. This was originally this color with tan interior and black fender stripes. No other options really at all. Bench seat, 4-speed, post, and I think it had a radio. That's it. So anyways, super solid. No rust work to be done on it. And it's really hard to find these cars in this mostly done condition. The only rust repair that was done was this back window corner. You can see the bodywork is still not completed there. That had been fixed. Okay. Other than that, no issues. The floors, you can see the floors in there. They're really nice. And I'll do a full in-depth video on this car. But this car, clean title, it's in South Central Minnesota, Farmington, Minnesota, zip code 55024. You want it? Come get it. 25 grand. So Where else are you going to get a rust-free, clean, rolling body that half the paintwork's already done? You know, with the suspensions done, and the rear end probably needs to come back out and get painted and stuff, but it looks pretty nice in there as well. So there's that car. This one, you haven't seen this one in a little while. This is also from Arizona, same place as the car right by it, the Sunfire Yellow Roadrunner. This is the B7 Post car. This is a B7 Blue Post bench seat, column shift, automatic, and you can't really see it in there because it's too dark, but it is a factory tack car. No engine or transmission. The floors are perfect. And you see a lot of people say that, oh, the floors are really nice. The floors are just about perfect. They just need a little patch. No, these floors are perfect. There is not a speck of rust anywhere on them. And that door doesn't open now. But you can't see any of that. But you kind of can. You see those two little spots of white? That's from where the gas pedal mounts. That's how clean the floors are. They're not even rusted out there. Trunk pan is pretty good. It has one little spot by the extension somewhere over here. There's a little pinhole, and then this inner wheelhouse has a hole there just from some moisture. But Arizona, super clean car. I put the trunk lid on it, and I actually painted the underside of this. This is very close to B7, but it's not. This is, well, it is B7 actually, but this is a 1971 version of B7 Blue, which is a little darker and doesn't have quite as much green in it as the 69 version. See, this quarter is really solid except the bottom about 3 inches, 2 inches, 3 inches. Quarter lip, real nice. Doors real nice. Fenders rust free. The whole front clip is rust free. The doors are rust free. The roof is super solid. No issues. The inner fenders and everything's all good. Even underneath the battery tray isn't rusted out. So that's all good. Once again, full in-depth video on this will be coming within the next week or so. This one, as it sits right now, would be offered publicly for $22. I don't really want to go much lower than that. Yes, it needs a quarter skin. Okay. And yes, you can pop that wheelhouse back out. It is pushed in a little bit. Or, guess what? A wheelhouse is $100. You know, if somebody wanted to take it apart. It's a lot more about the labor of putting it together and taking it apart than it is actually the cost of the metal. And I have a 68 quarter skin. You just have to swap out marker lights. There's a 68 quarter skin, goes with it. This is another one that's a roller, no engine, no transmission. But it's a solid car, Arizona car, clean title. So, another thing I just want to make mention of as we're going through this. If any of you are watching this and thinking, oh, this guy's high on his prices, this guy's this guy's that, go watch something else. Go find something better to do, okay? I appreciate everybody that watches the videos, but if you're going to make any stupid or dumb remarks, go find something else to do. I'm not going to waste my time on answering comments like that. You want to comment something stupid? Guess what? You're getting deleted. I'm pretty fed up with that crap. So, just want to make that well known. And this is a white interior car. Not sure if it's a blue and white interior car with a blue dash, blue carpet, but white panels, white seats. So this one, the Butterscotch Roadrunner is what I call it. It's not originally butterscotch, but this car has some really cool features. This was originally, let's see, I can show you at the front here. That T5 copper is what it was. Here, you might get a little better look at it. Nice metallic copper color. And this car is very solid. The fenders are very, very, very nice. The inner fenders, everything's good. Firewall's good. The hood is pretty good. It's got a couple dents. The doors are good. The floors are rust-free. But can anybody real quick see what happened? This was a bucket seat console car, as you can tell by the reinforcements on the floor for the bucket seats, which I have bucket seats for it. Somebody hacked the console brackets out of this thing, very, very butcher-like, and screwed it up. So that wouldn't be terribly difficult to fix, and it wouldn't have to be absolutely perfect since the carpet is covering it, but obviously you want to do the best job you can. The dash is very nice. The quality of the pad and everything. There's your little Roadrunner guy. There's the what I call the Batman steering wheel. I don't know what the heck that thing is, but it's dumb looking. This is a factory tack car. Buckets, console, 4-speed, tack, hardtop, copper with tan interior. And a tan vinyl top. I forgot about that. It was a tan vinyl top car. So, and this car does need more rust repair than the previous two. It's comparable to this, but I don't know. It's got bubbling on the quarters, and then down low it's pretty rough on this side. It would need a quarter panel lower and a trunk extension. I do have bumpers for it, but they're not super great. This trunk lid could be fixed, but it is kind of kicked in here a little bit, so it's not ideal for an easy fix, but it easily, I would consider it fixable. Lower quarter on this side, it's dented in there. It's got a little rust. Kind of same thing on this side. I don't think the trunk extension's bad on this side, but it'll need to be need to have the lower done and over the wheel well here. As you can see, somebody tried to fiberglass it at one time. I don't know why people do that, but they think it's a good idea, so they just do it, I guess. I'll look in on this side at the dash. There's that tack. Another look at the floor. Real nice. The trunk is real nice. I got stuff on it right now, or else I would open it. But right there, you see through to the ground there, the rear end blew up at some point and kicked a chunk of something up through the rear end hump right there. So that needs to be pounded back down and fixed, or needs a chunk out of another car, or I guess you could get a pan for that. But you know, I think it's a very fixable thing. The trunk pan is solid, no issues. I do have video on this car, and I believe in that video I said 22, which I'm kind of holding to that. Even, you know, it's got some issues. You know, you want that one or you want that one. That one is a lot better from the factory post, buckets, console, 4-speed, the whole thing. Whereas this is a hardtop, buckets, console, 4-speed, excuse me. Whereas this is a post, bench seat, column shift, automatic, you know. So this one has more substance to it overall, but you know, this one is a little bit nicer overall. Frame rails are good on all three cars. Frame rails are perfect, so no issues there. So we'll get on to the biggest project, 1970 Barracuda. Okay, it looks really scary the way it is right now, and honestly, it is in a lot of ways. But as you can see, I got tail panel, front valence, rear valence, trunk lid, quarter panel, front grille support, fender, roof skin, the other quarter, some rust repair pieces for this here. Trunk pan is just setting in it. The other piece for that other side, which it doesn't even really need, just needs like 5% of that panel, not even. But it's going to take some fabricating work for somebody, or somebody that has a good Cuda roof skin laying around could do it pretty easy. There's rust, you know. There's some issues to the roof structure of the car. but the frame rails are really, really nice. Okay, frame rails are really nice. Front all the way to the back. Floors are really nice. There's no holes in the front floors other than maybe a couple little pinholes. And in the back, there's a couple little holes in the by the bracket there and by the bracket over there. But those could be patched. So, really nice overall. The doors are really nice, except for, the typical little speaker hole cut into them, which is just, you almost expect that nowadays anyways. Wheelhouses are alright. You could repair it or you could replace it. Like I said, the rear tie bar, everything is good. The rear frame rails are good. This could be just pounded back in place and plug weld the new rear window filler panel in, which I have right there. And it's a project, but at the end of the day, it's an e-body, So, I mean, we're looking at clean title. We're looking at about 16 for it, kind of with all the metal and stuff. I might have a few pieces for the front suspension, but not much. I might actually have some front suspension stuff too with it for that. I've got the dash for it with the VIN. No fender tag, but it was, as you can see, vitamin C orange. I believe it was black interior, and it was just a 318 car. But it's the basis for a really, really good CUDA clone. I was talking to a guy that is really good with metalwork on these cars, and we were talking about, what's the value of this car as a done in metal, ready for, final touch-up bodywork and paint. What's it worth? And we threw out the number of 30, and he said, no, you're looking at closer to 40, because CUDA clones and, Barracudas and whatever you want in general are just that ridiculous right now. So, I don't know. Somebody wants to buy this for 17 or so. Wow, there's already $6,000 worth of metal with it. And, you could pay somebody, I think he estimated 8 to 10 grand worth of metal work to do it. Well, you're looking at 27 plus, we'll call it the high side of 10 grand. And that's just for that guy. Other people might charge more or less. Then you're looking at 27 grand for what he valued as, near $40,000 rolling shell. So just another little side opinion and something to think about, And the Cornet RT. It's not really an RT, but it's a 500. I call it an RT because it's got a 68 440 with 18 spline 4-speed and a Dana rear end in it. So that's the justification for calling it an RT. And it's got the RT tail panel, which is what would be on a 500 as well. But anyways, Arizona car came with the other two Roadrunners. This car, the interior is pretty well shot, but the body is very, very nice. A little bit bent in the quarter there, but down low, there's nothing wrong with it, really. There might be a couple pinholes down there, but nothing wrong with it. Moving to the other side, it's got a little bit more rot. Look down here, there's some stuff trying to peek through. There's some scaly stuff, there's some bubbling stuff. And then you move up here, corner of the roof, typical spot for a vinyl top car. It was green top, white interior. Actually was a bucket seat car. It was a bucket seat with a buddy seat car. And then somebody must have taken the buddy seat out, put that e-body console in it for whatever reason, and an inline 4-speed, and then, one thing led to the next. It's got a Dana rear end, 354 gear. It runs and drives. I have not taken it more than, I've got probably 10 miles on it. So it's still very much in the as found condition. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff to it. I've got the brakes working, the wiring's good. I got to tie up a couple of wires here, but the wiring works. Turn signals work, headlights work, brake lights work. I don't think the reverse lights work, but I think that's because of the 4-speed shifter. Bunch of stuff. I mean, I can't even tell you the amount of stuff that just suddenly works on this car after working on it. And it's got HP manifolds, full dual exhaust, thrush mufflers, all that kind of, nice day 2 stuff. Was an air conditioning 318 car, but now it's obviously 444 barrel. So that's what this one is. I think one of the only things that doesn't work are these little turn signals on the hood. Or not hood, fender. So that's what we got out of this one. And price for this, I'm sitting at $27 for it. And if anybody wants to dispute that, you can go talk to yourself in a mirror for as long as you want, I guess, because I'm not going to listen to it. It's a really solid car, and there's one very, very similar to this online, but no engine, no transmission, no anything driveline wise. He's got it up for 19 grand or so, somewhere right there. And it's even the same color and everything. The body is basically the same condition. And he wants 19 for it, and it's got no interior, no driveline, no rear end, no nothing. Where are you going to find even bucket seat cores? Bucket seat cores alone are worth almost $1,000 these days. And a 68 440, an 18 spline 4-speed transmission with all the stuff for it, and a Dana rear end. There's no way you're getting that for less than $8,000 at least, probably pushing closer to 10. Much less any of that stuff in good, serviceable, running, drove it up to 70 miles an hour condition, and this thing pulls strong. It runs good. So that's where we're at, 27. Take it or leave it. It doesn't hurt my feelings if you leave it, even given the situation that I'm in. It's I'll be fine. So definitely consider it if you want a nice ratty driver, because that's exactly what this car is. That's exactly what it has really good potential to be. So anyways, now let's go outside and look at a couple things outside real quick. Here we got a 69 Super B. It's got there's a inner fender to repair the inner fender here, as you can see. And it's a 383 automatic car. It's got a bunch of stuff missing off the engine, but it was supposedly an okay runner at one point in time years ago, so I consider it a core. It's got a core automatic transmission in it. You can see the front core support down low has been cut off, so that needs to be fixed. But the other inner fender's good. I have a better hood for it, but this hood's alright. The bumpers are pretty well shot. The fender here is pretty decent overall. It's got the typical rust down low in the dog leg area is what they call it. But that's typical. It's bench seat, automatic, column shift. It was brown with brown interior, so nothing real fancy there. And it's got no fender tag, but it's got a clean title. You can see it's got some holes in the floor, but not bad overall. It would probably benefit from a full floor pan, but you could fix it with patch panels if somebody wanted to do that. Quarter panel, needs quarter panels, needs outer wheelhouses, needs trunk extensions, needs trunk pan, and needs tail panel. So it's going to be a decent amount of work, but it's priced accordingly, and it is a real Super B, not just a Cornet or just the other base model cars. So It's got seat cores in it. These bench seat cores are actually bringing a lot of money these days, which is kind of ridiculous. I actually don't know what that seat is out of. I think it's B-body. But anyways, there you can see the floor a little more. It's got a couple holes, and the tunnel's kind of butchered up where it had an aftermarket shifter. There's nothing in the dash. It's just guts. There's no guts to the dash. It's just a frame, but it's a rally frame, so that's nice. But yeah, that's pretty much a story on this one. There's not a whole lot to it. Nothing real fancy about it. It's $12 grand. Come and get it. Make a great A12 clone. That's what we were gonna do with it. We were gonna paint it that good F6 green and do a 446 pack 4-speed with it and do a bunch of stuff like that. But given our situation and given things in general, it just might not happen. And then there's this car. When this car first showed up on the channel way back, this was probably the one that everybody wanted the most. I don't know what it is about it that people love so much, but it's a really, really, really cool car. 1969 GTX. This is one that we don't really want to sell, but given circumstances, would consider it. Arizona car came with the other Arizona cars that I mentioned. Trunk pan is probably 8 out of 10 condition overall. It's got a couple little spots that could be patched, or if you're a perfectionist, you can go through and do all of it if you really want to. It'll need quarter panels. You could get away with patching them if you wanted to, but there's a little bit of rust up into here, so if you just take it all off at once, then you solve all of those issues. Little rust hole there, but not bad. The door is real nice. It's got the trim on it and everything. This is it's got 4 issues on the one side. The other side's pretty nice. The tunnel's been hacked up, but other than that, the dash is pretty nice. It's originally a red, black top, black interior, 440 automatic GTX. It's a real GTX. It's not a Roadrunner or a Satellite. And yes, for the people that are going to notice it right away, yes, that's not a 440. That's a 383. It's a 1968 HP 383, so pretty cool. 3-speed wiper, which is actually mandatory with the N96 stuff, which is, of course, all missing. But it's taken a couple little hits in the front here where it's a little bit chewed up here and there, but and then that inner fender needs work. But it's a real good car overall. Frame rails are all really solid, except there's one hole way back there you can't see. But actually in the top of the frame rail going down, there's a little hole right there. But that's a patch. That's not a replacement, in my opinion. So anyways, this kind of covers this one. N96 automatic 440 GTX red with the you can see little remnants of the black hood stripes. You can actually see the line right here over, and then right here over was the blackout on the hood. So anyways, that pretty well covers this one. This quarter panel is not doing so good in the back end here. It's taken a couple little bumps. And same kind of thing here where it's starting to go right at the window a little bit, so we may as well just do a full quarter is the right thing to do there. So I would recommend that if somebody does end up buying this, which, like I said, this is one that we didn't want to sell, but would consider it given the circumstances. So price for that one, $18. Don't really think we're open to any other offers on that. 18 is the bare minimum on that, so definitely If you see anything, like I said, email's in the description of the video, and it will be in the comments. I will pin it to the top. It will be the top comment. So if anybody needs to contact me for this stuff or for anything else, shoot me an email. Let me know what you think on some cars, or if you want any other detailed pictures or videos on any of them, and I will try to get you set up with whatever we can. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. Consider liking, sharing, subscribing, all that other fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.